Well, as April draws to a close, it's tax time. It's time to make sure you have your tax return in order. If you are feeling stressed, just relax. We got you covered. Stephanie Riccio, TurboTax spokesperson and CPA, is back with us again today with everything you need to know as we approach the end of tax season. Great to have you back.
Good morning.
Okay, so we are going to go through some really important dates. The very first thing that you need to know, obviously, is when to file. So when are the deadlines this year?
So it depends on whether you're employed or self-employed. So for employed individuals, the filing deadline is April 30th. If you are self-employed, it's usually June 15th. It falls on the weekend this year, so you have until Monday, June 16th to file. But whether you're employed or self-employed, if you owe, it must be paid by April 30th to avoid penalties and interest.
Okay, so let's say for whatever reason you can't file on time. Like, we're pretty close to that deadline. There can be a lot to gather.
Right.
What are the consequences if you're late?
So if you are someone who files late but you have a refund owing, of course, you will just end up delaying receipt of that payment, but you could also impact the timing of receiving other credits or benefits. If you are someone who owes this year, of course, you're going to start to accrue interest on May the 1st, but you will also subject yourself to the late filing penalty, and that is 5% of the unpaid balance plus an additional 1% for every month up to 12 months as well.
Okay, a lot of detail. Basically just saying you're gonna owe money.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you owe taxes, but you can't afford to pay them by that April 30th deadline that you mentioned, what options are available for people?
So my recommendation is, even if you can't pay it in full, file on time, and that eliminates the late filing penalty immediately, and you're only then subjecting yourself to the interest, of course. Now, if you can't make the full payment, you can also get in touch with the CRA and work with them to set up a payment arrangement that works for your situation. And you can do this by calling them or online with your CRA account. But the general recommendation is a lot of people wait until they have the full balance to make the payment and get it done. But if you make the payment in increments, you end up reducing the total interest you pay overall.
Okay, that's a great tip for people to know.
Yes.
I know it can be challenging to get on the phone, to have to wait on hold, to try and find the right prompts to get to the human being.
For sure.
But it's worth doing because it can save you money.
Yeah.
Okay, what can people do to make sure that they are as ready as they possibly can? We don't have a lot of days left. So let's go through, let's break down this list of how you can prep before this final stretch of filing.
Top of the list is always to get organized. So by this point in time, you should have your income slips, medical expenses, charitable donations, or RSP contributions. You should have that all centralized somewhere and be physically ready to start to prepare that tax return. Then you want to make sure that you are taking advantage of all the eligible credits and deductions you can. There are so many that there are bound to be some that are available to you, and it really will make the difference between maximizing your refund or lowering the amount of tax that you have payable. And then, of course, it could be time to get that expert help. And this is where a tax solution, an online solution like TurboTax, is a great tool, giving you access to tax experts that have an average 10 years experience, but they will answer unlimited amount of questions, review the return before you file, even answer questions after you file so that you can feel confident that the taxes are done right. But if you are in a panic, you can hand off the process from start to finish using TurboTax full service and get the experts to do the work for you.
I always think about the fact that, like, we are not, we, meaning me, and you at home, we are not tax experts, but to get someone who actually does this for a living kind of feels like a no-brainer. I'll tell you kind of anecdotally, Stephanie and I were just sitting here on the couch right before the segment, and we're just chatting about our own personal experience, and she's like, hey, make sure you look into this benefit that I didn't even consider it. So in 30 seconds, I got the help I needed from someone who knows what they're doing.
The expert help makes a big difference, so you don't have to be alone.
Yeah, you don't have to do this on your own, Canada. Stephanie, thank you so much for all of your help throughout this season. It has been so great having you to navigate tax time.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.